I am here today with multi-Emmy winner Kristos Andrews, who plays twins, Pete and Adam on the Bay. Part of the season is set in Puerto Rico. Did you have fun filming in Puerto Rico?
I sure did. It was paradise, and the material was really a lot of fun and adventure. A lot of high stakes too. But it's nice to, in the meantime, be surrounded by paradise and really cool people. Great culture out there too. Definitely enjoyed my time there.
What did you do in Puerto Rico when you were not filming?
I think I was just filming most all the time. Whenever there was a moment, we would kind of go out and check out like a restaurant that's really good, or beachside place to go, yeah, mainly just checking out the different cuisine, well, the different restaurants of Puerto Rican cuisine, and it was really good. It was yeah, that was a good time. We visited a few spots. I actually, I did cut out a little period of time to travel the whole island. Actually went to Rincon, went to we actually filmed on the south end, and it was we went through Ponce, which is also a city. San Juan is like, well, it's the capital, and that's where we mostly film. But we went down to Salinas as well to film on this hacienda. I ended up all around the island, and there's a lot of beauty all around the island.
For people who haven't seen the Bay, what are your characters in the Bay like in terms of personalities?
Uh, well, they're polar opposites. They're one is just man, one leads with the heart. That's Pete. That's who I've played for a decade now and some change. And it's always a pleasure to play Pete, but he's always kind of burdened with these crazy circumstances that he has to get through, fight through with courage, and put his heart into, and just try to listen to what his best heartfelt instincts will be to just champion through and make sure everyone's all right. So it's a pleasure though, because you're like hitting the expedite button on life experience. You're kind of going through these experiences with this character Pete. I love that. And then it was like, whoa, everything got flipped on its head when I was cast as Adam as well. And they're like the antithesis of each other, and they have a deep loathing for one another, completely different points of view on life, completely different intentions at heart. um, and they're just going head to head pretty much, just completely different. So switching gears was quite the psychological workout. Um, I guess we could say it is an actor's dream to do such polarized different characters and just be given great material for it. So I'm grateful for Gregory and Wendy for that, and the whole team, my co-stars, Carucci, um, Eric, Mike, Naj, Kiara. Everybody's great. Tristan, Mary Beth, of course. Everybody, like Alicia. It's really a whole family feeling. It's like everybody supports each other. So we're able to kind of go all the way while feeling safe with each other.
Was there a specific reason why Puerto Rico was chosen for filming this season?
Yeah, well, the I'd say the initial and the primary cause was Gregory to thank. He's half Puerto Rican, so he loves his Puerto Rican culture, and he he just, there's no way we weren't going to film there at some point, so he managed to just make it happen for everybody, and the whole show just accommodations were made, and it was just a great time. It's nice to travel for what you love to do, and to a paradise like that. And it's cool. Gregory probably was gratified very much at heart, because he took what he loves to do, brought it to where his, lineage, his family is all, that's where his roots are. So that was really cool. Probably felt very fulfilling for him, and I feel like we all kind of felt that fulfillment on his behalf too.
Can you give any hints of what happens to your characters this season?
Uh, well, without giving spoilers, suppose I could say that things get more intense. in an overall sense. And then I could reveal that Pete and Adam do come face to face. So that's something that the audience has mentioned they're really anticipating. We've just been cutting back and forth different parts of the globe, and they're finally, in the same spot, and then you get to see what happens. Yeah.
Did you find playing twins challenging, and what are the specific challenges associated with that?
Yes, because well, you kind of have to rekindle your sense of reality and understand who you are as a human being yourself. Like me as Kristos, I need to touch down on this home base in between these roles because it's easy to jump from reality yourself to a role that you've done for quite a while, but when you're jumping from a role that is polar opposite of a whole other role, and you have to either it's all or nothing, like either everything kind of hits the fan and it's a slippery slope, or you give it your all and you rise to the occasion and you just commit fully to this, you put your heart and your soul into it. That's kind of, I could only see it one way or another. So I had to fully commit, put my all into it, but also have to train myself psychologically to do a skip and a hop in between and touch down on myself, like just to understand, okay, now here's reality. This is Pete. This is reality. This is Adam, and this is reality, and this is Pete. And like kind of like make sure I'm keeping an oversight on myself as I'm doing this process. Everybody's busy. Like it's on you as an actor, especially. I felt like it's just on me to do this right. I gotta do this. Of course, Gregory, Wendy, the team are amazing, but it's like I just could not like let this fall through. I have to give it my all, and it's important to have an oversight on this process. That's kind of what helped me, just to be keep a supervision on myself, so to speak, like keep a observing eye on this whole process as I'm stepping into Pete's shoes, stepping into Adam's shoes, stepping back into my own.
Did you have a favorite scene or storyline this season?
um I certainly am grateful for the storylines I've been given for both characters. I mean, it's really nice to, like, my sister Celeste is really going through a lot with her character Tamara, and I'm really proud of her. She's done an amazing job with her performance. It's I love her storyline. It's a lot of heartstrings being pulled all around. I love Mike and Eric's storyline. I love it's crazy that Vivian and Adam are in such an like crazy situation. And to be there and from that standpoint, and then go into Pete, ironically, who's distant from her physically. So I'm up close with Adam, who is completely at heart a distant place to be from her, but I'm distant physically with Pete, and but extremely close at heart. So it's extremely painful. That it's nice though. It's nice to have the catharsis there. Like we've all lost loved ones. I've lost loved ones, and I'm, man, it lights a fire in me to know there's a chance that that I have to save them.
Can we expect to see a season 8?
Yes, yes, most definitely. Season 8 is actually yeah, it's already pretty. It's in. It's pretty much, well, it's in post. It's in the stages of post. So unless we have pickups and stuff, I'd say it's in the can filming wise, and I'm really grateful for that. It's really really cool the way everything unravels from season 7 to season 8. I'm excited for everyone to see it too.
If you personally could pick a location for season 8 without any budget restraints, where would the season be filmed?
Ooh, mm, there's a lot of great places to film. I mean, I'm in between places that I know and then places that I don't know to have a new experience. I'm usually adventurous in that way, where I'd like to set it somewhere I haven't been. Um, Man, I don't know. I mean, places I know, like obviously Puerto Rico is great. Turks and Caicos has been great. Belgium's great. London, that's my home, my family. England, I think, is awesome. If I'm, that's where my heart's in, Cali, SoCal, LA, but it's really like a lot. All my family's in England, so it'd feel very warm at heart to film there. Man, if I were to choose a place that I haven't been though, I can't choose. There's too many places. There's too many great places. There's Costa Rica, there's Bali, there's Dubai, there's Iceland, there's Norway, Sweden, there's the Czech Republic, Austria, there's Spain, there's France, there's Portugal, there's Morocco, there's Egypt, um, there's there's South Africa. There's a lot of places that Australia. Like there's so many places I want to go, and I'm definitely being redundant saying all these places, but I have this feeling of like yearning to go to all of them. I can't really decide, but if it's a place I already know, yeah, I'd say England is. I like it's kind of where my family feeling is at. So it'd be nice to film over there, maybe in the countryside where I spent a lot of time growing up, uh, or in London. It's great. Yeah.
You play a core character on the show. Do you have any input into your storylines?
Um, as an executive and a partner uh, of the show, I am given good graces basically to have a pass in my opinion and my thoughts. So I'm really grateful to be able to collaborate in that way. I am technically the executive producer with Gregory and Wendy, partner in the company in the show, which I'm very extremely grateful to be in this position. And it's been earning my stripes over time and building and building and building. And we've just developed a shorthand and a trust for one another. And I'm very honored to be in the presence of them too and the whole team. So yeah, I do have, I have a fair share of say. With that said, I let them do their thing. They are amazing at coming up with the storylines, all on their own. But then they welcome me to have a pass, and that's about it. So it's really cool. I really appreciate the process.
Do you enjoy working with all the soap veterans on the show?
I sure do. The soap legends, veterans, like it's great. It's been such a thrill working with Tristan, Mary Beth, Jackie Zeman. She's so sweet. I mean, we have good, nice, heartfelt scenes together. Ron Moss, he's like family to me. uh it's such a decent guy, as everyone is, and then even beyond that soap genre comes like people like A Martinez, who just starred in Ambulance by Michael Bay, and him and I have all these action scenes coming in the next content you'll see. But we have such a nice feeling of like trust and like brotherhood towards each other as we're like working together to bring down the bad guys, Pete and like me and A, basically Nardo and Pete. It's a great time. It's such an honor to be in the presence of these guys, and to feel their respect towards me really is encouraging, and I cherish it.
Do you enjoy working with your sister on productions?
Yeah, I sure do. Of course, we grew up together. I consider us life partners. Uh, it's nice to have someone that actually is family working on the and pulling their weight, and you're pulling your weight, and then you have this deep trust and deep familiarity with each other because you came into this world together and you went through a lot together. So we're here to support each other no matter what. So having that feeling alongside while I'm doing everything, it's a lot of work. It's like can get very hard work, and it's nice to know that you got family with you. And Gregory is like a brother to us as well. And the whole team is like family, Wendy included, and everyone, Precious and D'Ambrosio's, and the whole cast, the crew. We keep doing it together, like we are all family, like all siblings. And I think the relationship with Celeste and I, we just blend right in, almost setting the tone in a certain way, or just being an example of there's not much difference where it's blood or chosen family, but this is the vibe. This is how we have it.
Do you have a favorite scene partner on the Bay, and if so, who?
Uh, I mean, I'd have to attribute it to where most of my content is, and it's with Karuchi Tran, and she's very talented, a very sweet person. Um, we get to a very real place at heart um, in our scenes, and it's like our scenes have a life of their own, and there's a lot of magic in the air, very just gentle stillness that is strong, kind of a feeling. And it has a kind of takes its own course, and it's like, of course, we have our written dialogue and everything, but like there's a lot of chemistry there that I'm really grateful for. She's we click as people in, real life outside of our characters, and I'm really grateful that there's a lot of that energy in there that keeps it really organic between our characters. And yeah, I'd say, I mean, I love every scene partner I've had on the show, but the attribute should go to who I've spent most of it with, Karuchi. Then I'd say Mary Beth, of course, and Tristan, Eric, Mike, Naj. These are people I've spent a lot of time in scenes with. And then even in the latest season, it was such a cool thing to be able to do scenes directly with my sister. It was like a big full circle feeling. Um, our mom always encouraged us to do creative stuff, and here we are doing that, and here we are in scenes together on a successful show together. It's very sweet. It feels very good, and I'm very grateful.
On the show, you do both romantic and dramatic storylines. Do you have a preference between the two, and why?
Um, yeah, I mean, I mean, let's be honest. Like, well, always let's be honest, but to be as open as possible about it, I think it feels a lot better to do the romantic stuff because you're letting your heart sing, and you're also doing it where you don't have all the complications that real life presents. It's very interesting because there's a lot of, tediousness in real life and all these little details when you're doing a scene romantically, and you're having a deep conversation with a character you're, written with, and a human being you're with, doing this art with. You're given this safe space that you can just open up your heart fully, where in real life it's like all these things that could, go wrong, and all these things that kind of take the light out of the situation, kind of disappear completely, because you're being celebrated for your feelings. So by all means have those feelings and let them just gently exist or strongly exist, however the fluctuation is meant to be. But I really appreciate that process, having romantic scenes. And it's not like because it's a physical romantic thing, more than it's having this heart to heart that you get to have, where you're coming to a greater understanding, where you're connecting genuinely. And it's so sweet. I love, yeah, I didn't even give it as much thought as I just did before, but I do appreciate the romantic scenes. But no, not knocking the dramatic stuff either. It's really the dramatic stuff makes you tougher. The high stakes, the action. It's like it's almost like if you're really imagining it, you learn that, okay, if this stuff's to go down, like I have a sense of how I would actually feel, and how I would actually act, and how it wouldn't actually be such a shocking first time because I'm doing this now. So anyway, both there's an upside to both, that I greatly appreciate.
How did you get so good at acting that you won multiple Emmys? Did you have an acting coach?
You know, I had my fair share of going to acting class and studying at studios, and I really have to say it's the playing field that taught me most. I studied at Baron Brown Studio, John Homa, Gregory J. Martin, who's actually an amazing acting coach. I met at a young age, just getting into it, and he just took a lot of faith in me, and it's been a wonderful experience with all the coaches I've worked with. At Baron Brown, it was Charlie Boone, and then John Homa, of course, is a great acting coach, and then Gregory is just amazing. So and then doing the work with him over the last like over a decade, and then just being on the playing field with different directors that have been amazing and different producers and co-stars that are just amazing that I've been lucky to just have been placed with. The playing field is what taught me mostly. So I attribute it to that. To just being lucky and fortunate enough to be able to work. Like I'd be doing, more classes and studying more if I wasn't like booked up and working, but I treat that like my class. In fact, it's the best class. You learn as you go completely. You're just thrown into all kinds of new experiences every single time. And each time you get stronger and you understand how to navigate. And then you also understand how to open up those valves at your heart better and have like more of a gear switch to it. And you just, it's a natural process. But my best recommendation is just be on the playing field. It doesn't even need to mean you're acting all the time, but you can be in a different position, but be on that playing field so you absorb how it all works. And that's been a great blessing for me. And then that I managed to channel it in a certain way that I feel like I'm being gratified at heart through each experience. And just by committing, I am gaining. So it's very gratifying. I'd say I guess that's an elaborative way to say that. Yeah, I definitely have learned a lot just through the work, and I'm very grateful for everyone who I've been with, working with, and I'm excited for everything to come as well.
What's the best places for people to follow you and watch the Bay?
Um, well, the Bay's handle is the Bay the series on Instagram and on Twitter, and then Facebook, and and you can find it on Tubi. It's new deal with season 7, so that's really exciting. And then my handle is Kristos, which is Kristos, Kristos. That's for Instagram and for Twitter. And then Facebook is Kristos Andrews. And that's about it. Yeah.
This is the end of the interview. Thank you, Kristos.
Thank you, Thane. Been a pleasure.